Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. I'm Em, and today I want to share with you guys how to tell what the breeder is telling you about health testing is actually the truth, how to verify health testing in dogs. So before I get into it, I want to go ahead and get my dogs some of these wolf sickles, I think is what they're called, pupsicles. It's from mywolf.com. This is not a sponsored video. I really wish it was, because I absolutely love these things. They are super nice for dogs that need some like food puzzles, that kind of thing. So basically you can buy these already like done up, or you can buy this mold and make your own. And I love that you can make your own, because if you have a dog with allergies, or if you have a dog that you're trying to get a little more of something in their diet, this is a wonderful way to do it. The last week and a half has been miserably cold, and one of the things I have found is it has been really hard for me to get my older dog to drink enough water. So what I did with these is, this is just ice, but it is a little bit of turmeric. Turmeric is really good for any kind of inflammation, and she's getting a little bit older, so this will help. And then I also have a sprinkle of dried fish that I powdered, and it smells really good to the dogs. I'm not a fan of it. But then you just, oops, you just, there we go. You just screw it on. It makes a bunch of weird noise because it's like a rubbery, but you just screw it on, and then the dogs can lick out of here, and it works out perfect. So again, not a sponsored video, but if you have a dog, I highly recommend these. You can throw them in the dishwasher. They're super easy to use, and I have even taken part of their meals. My dogs eat raw, so I will take part of their meal and put it in here, and let them kind of eat it that way. It slows them down. But anyway, back to the whole point of this video, right? How do you verify what the breeder is telling you, and why should you do it? All right, so the reason that you should do this is the reason you should verify is, I don't know how many times I have talked to a breeder and they've told me, oh yeah, parents fully health tested, grandparents are tested, so on and so on. And then when I start looking at things, I realize that is not the case. In fact, this happened with my very first English stud dog that I purchased. The breeder claimed parents were fully health tested, and unfortunately they weren't. And he ended up with mild hip dysplasia. When I did more digging, I found out his mom actually didn't pass her hips. Sorry about the noise. It's this. It's not toots. It's this. All right, let's get these to the dogs now. All right, so now that the dogs have their little pupsicles, I'm going to go ahead and make some more to pop in the freezer so they're ready for next time. And this is my bag of freeze-dried or dehydrated fish that I ground in a coffee grinder. And I just take a scoop and pop it in each one of these, and then I will add some turmeric. You can add whatever you want in here, and then water, and they're good to go. Back to why we should be verifying health testing is because, unfortunately, there's a lot of breeders out there that do not tell the truth. And so it is a good idea to verify the health testing of any puppy that you're looking at getting. And the best way to do this is to ask the breeder for both the AKC number, or the registration number, and the registration name, not the call name. So every dog has a call name. For Bliss, it is just Bliss, but then her registered name is M's Little Bit of Bliss. So you want the registered name and the registered number. And then you can go into OFA's website, and they have a little search bar, and you're just going to type in the dog's registered number, preferably, or if all you get is the registered name, you can go ahead and type that in. And then it should pull up the dog. When you click into the dog, you'll be able to see if the dog is registered. If they have any testing that's been submitted to OFA, you'll be able to see that on this website. And then the cool thing is you can also go down and see any relatives of this dog. So if its parents are registered through OFA, siblings, offspring, half siblings, and all of that, you can really go on a deep dive with it. It is a really handy tool if you're looking at a dog that maybe has some breeder's options on it, and you're able to kind of look to see if it follows in the bloodline or if it's just a fluke and it's just one dog. Now, if the breeder is telling you that the dog is health tested, but they haven't submitted it to OFA, such as with like the heart test or the eye test, those tests, you get the results from the ophthalmologist or the cardiologist. You don't get those results from OFA. OFA is just putting a stamp on it, basically. And it does cost a fee to submit it to OFA. So sometimes if breeders are tight on money, you do the test and then you don't send it into OFA and you save just a little bit of money. You still have a paper that says, hey, here I did the test, here's what the results are, but you don't have the official certificate. I did that in the beginning. When I was just starting out and I was tight on funds, I did that. Also, sometimes you just forget to send it in. And so if the breeder is saying, yes, the dog has this test, but it's not submitted to OFA, then ask to see that paper. And what you want to do, this is very important, you want to make sure and match that dog's AKC registered number or whatever registry. You want to make sure and match that registered number from the dog that the breeder gave you to that paper. It's a good thing to also verify birth date of the dog and also registered name. If you can verify these, then you want to look on the other side of the paper where it will tell you if the dog is normal or if there were any issues. And that will give you the verification that yes, this dog is health tested. Just for some reason it didn't get submitted to OFA, whether that be a money thing or maybe just, you know, it happens. I've forgotten to send them into OFA. You get the paper and you're like, okay, we're good, and then you just forget to send them in. It happens to the best of us. Well, at least to me. All right, so there is also other tests that can be done that don't necessarily get submitted to OFA, and that would be pen hip. They can be submitted to OFA for a fee, but most of the breeders I know don't do that. Or there's, you know, other types of hip tests that, again, I think it can be submitted to show on OFA's website, but it isn't necessarily something most breeders do. And in those cases, again, ask to see that form, ask to see the paper proving that that test was done, and then just verify. Verify the dog's registration number, verify the dog's registration name, verify the birthday. It doesn't hurt to look at the date and kind of confirm that the date the exam was done is appropriate for the age the dog should have been. So, for example, heart, the dog should be over 12 months old. For the eyes, the dog should have that done every year. So you should be able to find a up-to-date eye exam that shows that that exam has been done within the last 12 months of when you're looking at the paperwork. If you guys are looking into a breeder and this breeder is claiming that they have a dog, a parent or both parents that are fully health tested, but they're unable to provide you with the info for you to look those testings up, or unable to provide you with the paperwork, or maybe the paperwork doesn't quite match the dog's registration and all of that, there's enough red flags there that I would say that dog probably isn't really tested. Now, any breeder that I know who actually does complete testing, they are more than happy and willing to provide you with everything you need to not only look up the testing, but usually they will just be happy to send you the actual results so you don't even have to look it up. Still, again, when they're sending you paperwork, make sure you're matching that paperwork to that dog, but any breeder I know who's doing the testing is more than happy to provide that. I know I am, and it makes me super proud of that puppy family for not just taking my word for it, but verifying that, hey, we want to know that you are doing this, because there are so many breeders out there who are claiming that their dogs are health tested and they're not. So unfortunately, this is something that you really have to do the homework on yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you missed my last video, it is talking all about the health testing that a golden retriever should have before it is bred. And the video before that talks about why health testing is important. So if you missed either of those, please go back and check them out. And then also, my next video is going to be all about how to pick the right breeder for you. Not just how to find a good breeder, but everybody might have a different kind of list of what they're looking for in a breeder. So this next video will explain how to find that right breeder for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and share this video with anybody you know that might be looking for a puppy, and we will catch you in the next one. Have a golden day. Wait, hold on. I got this. Okay, we're gonna paw boop it. Ready? Ready? Boop.
Let peace and joy surround.